You have to like take every day as a mystery and wake up and see like, is this thing that I had planned going to be good for me or feasible? There are days that you have to accept that things don't go according to plan. You have to do something completely different.
We've at least gotten to climb a little bit in and amongst the like snow trudging alpine mission days where we should probably just be backcountry skiing and not trying to boulder.
What motivates me is finding something that is at limit for the amount of time that I have. And then buttermilks, I'd say typically throughout the winter when you get those dry days, that's the best time to be there. So we committed to coming at the end of January, early February, hoping that we would get a good weather window.
I've never been to Bishop. So when I first drove in, it was dark and it was really scary. It was really like American and Western, and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so out of my element.
I just wanted to try some of the like harder, kind of classic test pieces in the area. I don't really like to do things like 80%. I like to go 100 at all times.
I think it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
I got a funny email from someone I work very closely with. He said, I don't know how you have time to eat food because I have like 7 to 7.5 hours straight of meetings. I'm exhausted right now. In terms of like actual hours that I devote to thinking and stressing about my job, I spend a lot of my waking hours thinking about contracts. And I think overall the balance that I get with climbing is something to be thankful for because I get to like completely change my focus.
The real world scenario is that we both work jobs and are sponsors on a professional level.
Zoe, she comes from a comp climbing background and she's been making the transition to outdoor bouldering. She's super strong and definitely has a ton of potential with her strength and her headspace. She doesn't have a lot of fear when she's climbing. If your right hand's decent, I would maybe just like pace.
I think it's a fun challenge to see what we can do with a short period of time.
Shutting the laptop at like 12:30, getting like almost like 6.5 hours of work in before 1 o'clock, and then running out to climb as much as we can before the sun goes down.
Guys, it's good.
And then even after.
Does your car have a name?
Yeah, this is Trinity.
This is Trinity?
Yeah, from the Matrix.
Oh, yeah, okay, she's a hot bitch.
She is.
Self-identifies as a bitch.
Who I am. Can't change who I am. This shit is soaked, like, right here.
One thing that I really appreciate about Sera is that, like, because climbing is still so male-dominated,
it goes like this.
a lot of my mentors have been male.
Yeah, the 5 minutes off, like, it's the whole thing. Like, I can put myself...
And men, they tend to be more aggressive in their approach.
I think it's a balance, because I think sometimes people knowing too much can be bad. Like, people are like, oh, like, I drank last night, so I can't send, or like, I only slept 5 hours, so I can't send. So, like, you don't want to go that deep. That's my opinion, though.
Sera walks that line. She allows herself to feel.
Look at me and be mad.
It's always kind of a challenge to find women who want to try really hard boulders that are a little bit out of reach for a lot of us. I've really enjoyed going on climbing trips with other women when I've been able to make that happen, because you just get a different perspective. You're able to connect on the same things. You understand what it's like to go into the alpine when you're on your period, and you understand all these different factors that are just completely different between women and men.
So the thing that you need to do with the sander is make sure that there's no like lip on it so that it doesn't split.
And I think there's something really special that happens. It changes your energy. You have like the opportunity to take up space.
I really wanted to try standing kill order, and I knew it'd be hard because I haven't seen anyone short do it.
Start with 3, big pull up, drop 2, put the thing on.
It opens possibilities for like working your own beta. I think together we can always like completely break down the boulder and then figure out the best way for us.
Yeah, nice.
Forgive me.
Nice.
Climbing grades are always going to be heavily patriarchal at a higher level, because the number of people who have provided consensus on V13 and up is like almost exclusively men. There aren't that many girls that are trying those boulders, so that consensus I would say was already skewed for like a body type like mine. And then the other thing that it says that I think people tend to forget is that climbing is a skill sport. So much of the time people don't want to admit that what they could refine is actually their mindset.
First 2 moves are crux, and then this move is like hard.
A lot of the time people just want to heads down, train and grind, and they forget, why did you fail?
I really like appreciate and look up to the way that she approaches bouldering from a mental space, and I have a lot to learn from the tactics that she's developed. She has her warm-up dialed, her timing is dialed, she has all the tools, she knows a lot more about outdoor bouldering than I do, whereas I'm more akin to like the comp kid that shows up with shoes and a chalk bag and is like, okay guys, let's go climbing.
At this point in my climbing career, I just don't want to climb everything. I want to climb the good ones, and I want to climb the ones that make me feel motivated and psyched in the right way. I wanted to try maze, and like putting yourself in that scenario where like you're more likely to fail is worth that to me. Boulders like maze are very technical, and you aren't owed anything in the milks. There are like things I feel like were safer.
This is a pioneering tactic, and you're gonna tie the string to the rope and carry the rope over the boulder with the drone via string. So, what could go wrong? Uh-oh. The rope's almost to the end. I'm fucking psyched. I think we might have to get a little time to dry, but I think we're gonna get it done, so. John's on a flex position. I'm having a good fucking time, that's for sure.
Some of the stuff in the milks is just so beautiful and inspiring, and like requires more of you in a lot of ways. I think there's something kind of satisfying about that though. It's just a battle. And that's so satisfying to like find those edges in yourself.
At the end of the day, no one has like the best set of cards. I think it's a fun challenge to see what we can do with a short period of time.
feel like Monday is like consistently the most restful day of my week because it's the day I can bank on being the most wrecked.
Kind of skin intensive, which sucks, but the more you climb on it, the more you learn like exactly where you need your center of gravity to be.
Oh, I'm getting cold.
So much thinking.
You got there.
You always have to believe that you can do something so that you go. But then when you're there, you have to be realistic and patient. So you have to be a lot of different things. That's like the balance of bouldering. My skin's really warm and I'm starting to rip.
Fucking A, that stupid foot.
We can get the fuck out of here. This is not doable right now.
Hoping to make something happen today. Hard for me is not attached to a grade number. I think I get a lot of satisfaction from having to put work in. Instead of thinking about like how you're failing on it, you think about like, well, this happened and you had this situation where you failed, but like what happened next? Try and not think about it as like a failure point and an end point, but like part of your story from like years from now.
I feel like I need a drink here now. It feels like so comfortable.
Want one?
He's so tiny.
It's really so dry.
I'm not hungry. I'm just cold.
Kind of fucked up,
This
huh?
is kind of crazy.